and welcome to Big Bang Radio Spotlights. This is a show where we get to sit down with independent artists from all around the world and learn about their music and process for making it. I'm Brooke Thompson, and today I get to sit down with Berlin-based artist CATT. So without further ado, let's get started. We like to ask every artist that we speak with the same questions to start off the interview. What is your earliest musical memory?
Oh, that's such a good question. I don't know. I think I've never been asked that before. People tell me, my parents tell me that I sang before I spoke and that I could remember melodies from somewhere, from the surrounding when I was a little baby, like only a few months old or something. But I, of course, can't remember it. So probably it's the grand piano that was always in our living room. And I played as soon as my fingers could reach the keys. So if I have to nail it down to one thing, it would be the piano and how it felt to not knowing how to play it, but to try to make sounds.
Oh, yeah. That's always such a interesting time to be able to learning an instrument for the first time. And that kind of leads into my next question that I had. I've seen on both your Instagram as well as your bio on your website that you play many different instruments. When did you begin playing the different instruments?
So the piano and the voice were probably the first things that I used to make music. And later I've been to church a lot with my family. And I'm from Germany. So in Germany, in churches, we have these choirs that are called, in German it would be trombone choirs. It's like these brass choirs are there to be in the background, like the choirs. And I've learned trombone there as a, I don't know, maybe 8-year-old girl. It was way too big for me and I couldn't really move with it, but they wanted me to join that choir. So that was kind of funny that I was way too little for that big instrument, but since then it's in my life. And then I chose to learn trumpet later for myself when I went to Berlin to study music there. And then I just brought them from the more classical surrounding to my more pop music surrounding and just played with them. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of funny that I had to learn it for church and then I transformed it to be there for my own reasons.
And which part of Germany are you originally from?
Originally I'm from the north, from a really tiny village. You can say it's near Hamburg. It's like in the north of Germany, but it's a village with 3 houses in the middle of the forest. So nobody even in Germany knows it. And so that's where I grew up, kind of in the smallest village in Germany, and then I moved to the biggest city here, to Berlin.
Yeah, my family hosts exchange students, and I've had 3 from northern Germany.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know any name of a town or something where they're from?
Yeah, so I've had one from Hamburg, one from Cuxhaven, and then the other one is from Hanover. So.
That's so cool. You know, the drummer from my band, he's from Cuxhaven.
Really?
And my guitar player, he studied in Hanover. So it's like, how funny. Yeah, then you get some connections to there already. Wow.
Yes. And then going back to the instruments that you play, do you incorporate all these different instruments into your music?
Yeah, I mostly do, especially the piano and the brass landscapes. I use them a lot. When I produced my first album, that's called YY, I went to a little house in the middle of nowhere, and I just took all my instruments and one microphone, and that's where I started to produce myself and to just work with what I have. And because I wanted to find out, it was 2020, and I wanted to find out how my music sounds. and I wanted to find it out without any like help from someone. And that, yeah, my instruments were everything I had. And I used my trombone, my trumpet, the percussion, piano, my voice, and just played with that. So that was the beginning. Now I play with band, and I also record with band, and I have a co-producer. But everything started with, okay, these instruments is what I have. I have no technical knowledge, and I will try to start from there. Yeah, so that's maybe also unusual to hear all these instruments from like one person. Also on stage, I'm also using a loop station and kind of do all of that. And it's kind of also funny to surprise people with that.
Yes. And when making a new song, does the music or lyrics typically come first for you?
I would say mostly when I have a feeling or like one lyric line, I mostly sit down at the piano with that, and then it flows together. Then mostly I sit at the instrument, guitar or piano, and then it goes kind of hand in hand, because lyrics are also so melodic, and they are, I mean, sometimes when I'm traveling or I don't have any instrument, I might write down lyrics before, or like a little poem or thoughts on something. But mostly it goes hand in hand, because yeah, it's so important how the lyric sounds. So you need to try them, or for me it's the case, you need to try them in a musical surrounding, or like pronounce them with your voice or sing them to see if it's right.
Yes. And for those who may not have listened to your music before, how would you describe your music style?
I think that's the hardest question for musicians, right? You probably could say I make organic pop music, organic indie pop music, which often is very song focused. I sing songs written at the piano often, or at the guitar. That's a new instrument in my collection. And yeah, organic, emotional, healing, joyful pop music. Yes, that would be it.
Try to comprehend. Like a jungle of abundance, I'm made to understand. Like a tunnel where each sequence marks a new trace on the land. Like a jungle of abundance, not made to understand. That it completely covered you up, and it also touched the ground, and its beauty was astounding. And you did what you liked, but only 'cause we allowed you to. And you did what you liked.
And you've recently released a new album, correct?
Yes.
And it's called A Different Life? Mm-hmm. And what was the process of making this album?
The process of making that album began with a journey. I actually traveled through California last year. I visited some friends in LA, and then I moved north to San Francisco, and I met beautiful people there. And then I drove even further north through the mountains and the redwoods, and I have had beautiful encounters there. And it was just a very yeah, kind of new but familiar world for me because I've never been to California. But you notice, even if I'm European, but you grow up with so much music and art from there, and you can kind of feel it in the air if you're driving through that mountains by the Pacific side. And I came back very inspired. And yeah, when I was back here in Germany, in Europe, I sat down at the piano and the songs came really easily. It was like I collected them on that journey, and then they were just there when I came back. And I recorded them first for myself in my little creative living room I have at home. And then I went to Berlin to also record them with my band. And you could say for the process, first there's the inspiration, and you have to live your life and feel things and experience things, and then the songs want to be written, and you don't or I don't really think about it, they're just there, and the essence of the songs are already there when I wrote them. But then I will kind of dress them and bring them into the right sound and mood with my band, whom I played with for some years now, so I trust them a lot. And yeah, so it's kind of, I produce it, but then I'm slowly inviting people and colors in to make it how it should be. Yes, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and that's so awesome that you're able to get inspiration from the trip that you went on to California. And would you say that the album kind of follows a theme or a story from that trip?
I would say yes, is a theme, but it's many perspectives on that theme. A different life can mean so much, and I think we're also different in our individual stories, but collectively we see so much trouble in the world right now, so much confusion, and there's so much going on. And yeah, I just wanted to shed like different lights on what it feels to be human and to feel human in all these stories, and also kind of be optimistic and with an open heart. Like, yeah, I think the songs were written with an open heart and really with really pure intention to spread love and to spread perspective, and maybe to be a home for certain situations where you just need a companion. And they encourage you to take that step, whatever that means for you, into your different life, into like your next courageous situation, whatever that means, whatever needs to be felt, whatever needs to be experienced, whatever needs to be, I don't know, let go even. The songs feel like little islands of encouragement, but also understanding and also joy. Because the way, even if the world is hard, it doesn't always need to be hard to change things. We just need to be ourselves. This is what I believe in. And the songs, I hope they inspire each of us to be a little bit more of ourselves and to be courageous to shine that light, whatever that means for each individual person. Yeah.
That's such an awesome meaning. And something you said earlier about colors brings me to my next question. So I noticed that your album is yellow, and a lot of your posts on Instagram also have yellow incorporated into the pictures. Does the color yellow have a special meaning or symbolism?
That's such a funny question. I think yes and no. I think for this album, I used a lot of yellow because I also worked with an artist together who created that artwork and who painted it. And I really like this golden yellow because it's kind of nice and it's kind of optimistic and joyful. And it kind of reminded me of that Californian time that I've spent. And also the album is probably, I didn't plan that, but it's kind of probably inspired by timeless 60s and 70s music. And I also connect that with that nice summer vibe, yellow color, sunshine, beauty. So probably that's why I did it. I chose it kind of intuitively, but if I have to find a meaning now, I would say that. Um, and as a child, I always loved yellow the most. I always said, when somebody asked, what's your favorite color? I always said yellow.
Yes, that I believe that yellow is that like joyful feeling of color. So, yeah, that's really awesome. So now I would like to ask about one of your songs from your album, which is played on our radio station, Jungle of Abundance.
Nice.
Could you tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind this song?
So nice that you're playing that. It's so good to know that it's been, that it's kind of been listened to on the most different parts of the world. That's so nice. So thank you for that. I would say that song is about how life is an adventure and how it can feel like, sometimes it can feel like you're in the middle of the jungle and you don't know where to go because there is so much potential and there are so many different possibilities. But which can be confusing, but it can also be so adventurous and fun. And this song is about the adventure and about, let's find out what's around the next corner. Let's play with it. Let's say yes to that and then yes to that. And let's just see how we feel and let's just do it. And let's kind of dance through life, even if it sometimes feels like the really mystical jungle. But it's a jungle of abundance. It's a jungle full of possibilities. And I think that's my dancing adventure song.
Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed it when I hear it on the radio. So I really enjoyed it.
Thanks.
And then I've seen that you have some concerts coming up soon in Germany. What are some memorable aspects of performing live?
Yeah, we actually just played a whole tour through Europe. I'm actually just back from tour. I just kind of fell out of the tour bus. We've been on the road for 5 weeks, I think. So it's been a beautiful time. We also have some summer festivals coming up. And I think because I'm still so filled up from that live experience, I can say the most beautiful thing about that is people come together in real life and they gather in a room for the songs and they're just there and they open their heart, and you never know what happens in a room because we are on stage and we're there with the band, but if the audience, if the people are really there and if they are really present, the songs are kind of noticing that, and then they're changing their form, and that we can even like take that room vibration and create with that. So this real life coming together, feeling something, and some person might want to cry, and some person needs to dance, and some person just needs to forget their life for a moment, but everyone is just present for that 2 hours and just present in the music. And I think that's something we don't have that often nowadays because we're so stimulated from the internet, social media, 1,000 things at the same time. But to really be present in a moment for 2 hours and be just there and open your heart, that has such a power. And that's just so beautiful. It can be fun, it can be wild, it can be deeply emotional. But yeah, on live concerts, you notice the meaning of music. because that's where it comes to life and where it's really resonating with people.
Yes, I definitely agree that concerts are a special time, like just coming together. It's such a amazing experience. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And then the final question that I have is, where can people keep up with you online?
Where
Mm-hmm.
people can up with me on whatever platform they're using. I mean, my songs are on the streaming platforms. You can find me under CATT. You can find me on Instagram via CATT. You can also, if you like, subscribe to my newsletter, because there I always share some deeper insights, some beautiful stories, my personal views, and it's kind of little letters from time to time, and special announcements and all of that. Yeah, but I'm there, the new music is there, and I would love for people to explore the new album, the new songs, and yeah, it's the most beautiful thing for me to know that new people explore the music.
Thanks to Kat for sitting down and talking with us all about her music. If you would like to see more interviews just like this, you can find us online at Studio 67 NCC. Thanks for watching. I'm Brooke Thompson. Until next time.